Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt different, not because of age or sleep or sadness, but because something deeper had shifted inside you? As if your reflection was quietly whispering, "You sit not who you were yesterday." Maybe your eyes hold a new softness. Maybe your face feels unfamiliar, yet somehow more true, and you can sit quite explain it. What if that change isn't set just physical? What if every subtle transformation in your face, in your being, is not random, but divine? The mystic Ibn Arabi once said that God never repeats himself. Every moment, every breath, is a new act of creation, and you are that creation. So when your reflection changes, it sits not just you evolving, it starts God rewriting his story through your form. And the question is, are you awake enough to notice it? Ibn Arabi taught that creation is not something that happened once in the distant past. It's happening right now, in every instant, in every heartbeat, in every silent blink of the eye. You are not a fixed being. You are a continuous becoming. Like waves that rise and vanish, you are being made and remade by the divine, moment after moment. Every time you change, your face, your voice, your energy, it's not decay, it's divine artistry. God is painting new expressions of himself through you. Your face is a mirror where the infinite contemplates his own reflection. When you smile, when you break, when you heal, all of it is the divine exploring new ways of being seen. That's why Ibn Arabi said, "The forms of things are veils." Your body, your appearance, your personality, they're not you. They're windows through which the unseen shines. And sometimes, when your soul grows, your reflection has to change to hold that new light. The eyes deepen, the features soften, the aura thickens, because the vessel must match the presence. So if you felt different lately, if you looked at yourself and seen someone new, maybe that's not confusion, maybe that's revelation. God is rewriting your face, not to hide you, but to show more of himself through you. 1. The mirror of God. Your face is not simply your own. It is not merely the arrangement of bone and flesh, the echo of your genetics, or the product of your habits. No, in the deepest sense, your face is a mirror through which the divine gazes upon the world. Ibn Arabi, the great mystic, taught that every creature, every being, every form is a reflection of God. And that includes you, with all the subtle nuances and expressions that make your presence unique. When you look into a mirror, you may see only yourself, a familiar stranger staring back. But Ibn Arabi invites you to see deeper. This reflection is not merely a personal image. It is the divine, looking at himself through the prism of your existence. Every curve, every line, every tiny detail in your features carries meaning far beyond what the eye alone perceives. It is a language written by God, a sacred handwriting that speaks to the world in silence. Think about the moments when you catch yourself in a glance, unexpectedly moved by your own eyes. Perhaps you see a spark of gentleness, or a shadow of pain, or a glimmer of joy that seems to come from somewhere beyond you. That is not vanity, nor is it ego. That is the subtle presence of God revealing himself through the vessel of your face. Every expression you make is a verse of a poem written by the Creator. Every emotion etched in your features is a reflection of the divine self exploring the world through you. And yet, we often miss this truth. We live as though our face is merely our own, as though it exists only to serve our purposes, to express our thoughts, to fit within the social constructs around us. We compare ourselves to others, critique what we see, long for what we believe we lack, or mourn the signs of time on our skin. In doing so, we forget the profound mystery that Ibn Arabi revealed. that our outer form is a sacred canvas. It is not for judgment or self-criticism. It is for contemplation. It is a living testament of God's presence in the world, reflected uniquely through you. Every change you notice, the way your eyes seem different after a season of struggle, the softening or deepening of lines on your face, the subtle shifts in how your expression holds and releases emotion, these are not accidents. They are the divine sculpting himself in real time, using you as both clay and mirror. When your face changes, it is not that you are losing something familiar, rather, you are being refined, open to hold more of the unseen light that flows through all creation. You are becoming a clearer, more precise reflection of what is eternal. Consider the concept Ibn Arabi calls the divine mirror. A mirror, in its simplest form, only reflects what stands before it. But the divine mirror is more than passive reflection. It is creative. It does not merely reproduce reality. It reveals hidden truths. Through your face, the world can glimpse aspects of God it could not otherwise perceive. Every smile, every tear, every subtle twitch of expression is like a ripple across the surface of that mirror, carrying light into spaces where it is needed. Even if you do not see it, you are participating in the sacred act of revelation, whether you are aware of it or not. Now, this does not mean that life will always feel easy or that your reflection will always bring comfort. Sometimes the mirror is harsh, reflecting pain or fear, insecurity or grief, but even these are expressions of the divine through the vessel of your form. Ibn Arabi teaches that God does not merely shine through the beautiful, he shines through all of existence, even its brokenness. The cracks, the shadows, the unguarded moments in your face, they are the spaces where light enters most profoundly. They are signs that the mirror is alive, responsive, and intimate with the deepest truths of being. To truly grasp this lesson, begin observing yourself without judgment. Look into the mirror and notice the subtle contours of your face, the way your eyes hold the light, the way your lips rest when you are silent. Sense that behind this reflection is a presence far greater than yourself, a presence that delights in revealing aspects of itself through your existence. Recognize that when your face changes, it is not merely time or circumstance shaping you, it is God continuing to explore, create, and express himself in this world through your living form. And so every glance you take at your reflection becomes an opportunity for recognition, a moment to remember the sacred truth that Ibn Arabi whispered across the centuries. You are not alone, you are not merely human, and your face is not merely yours. It is a living mirror of the divine, a canvas through which the eternal paints itself in infinite and subtle ways. When you see this, even the smallest change in your expression becomes a revelation. Every new line a verse, every new shade in your eyes, a message from the unseen. Your face is a mirror of God, not in pride, not in ego, but in sacred intimacy. And as you begin to live with this awareness, every transformation, every shift, every unfamiliar expression becomes a blessing, a sign that the divine continues to speak, continue to create, and continue to shine through you, unendingly and infinitely. 2. The renewal of creation. Imagine for a moment that everything you see, every tree, every river, every mountain, every star, is being created right now, in this very instant. Ibn Arabi, the great mystic, invites us to see life not as a series of static moments, but as a continuous, unbroken act of divine creation. The world is never finished, it is never complete, it is always unfolding, always becoming, and so are you. You are not the same person you were a year ago, a month ago, or even an hour ago. Every heartbeat, every breath, every thought reshapes you in ways both visible and invisible. Your face changes, Your body changes, your inner world shifts, and yet most of the time, we ignore these signs. We cling to the illusion that we are fixed, that we are complete, that we are done growing. But the truth, the profound truth that Ibn Arabi reveals, is that you are never finished. You are constantly being renewed, moment by the one who never rests in his creativity. Think about the last time you learned something new, felt a sudden emotion, or faced an unexpected challenge. That experience altered you in ways you could not fully articulate. Even small moments ripple across your being, subtly changing how you see, how you feel, how you exist. These changes are not accidents. They are the hand of the divine crafting a new version of you, a more expansive, more refined, more authentic version. In this way, your life is a living canvas, and every moment is a brushstroke of God's eternal artistry. Ibn Arabi teaches that creation is not a one-time event that happened in the distant past. Creation is ongoing. You are not merely a product of the past. You are a current, a living river of becoming, and your existence is proof of God's ceaseless creativity. This means that every change in your appearance, every shift in your thoughts or emotions, is not a deviation from who you should be. It is evidence that you are being renewed moment by moment to reflect more fully the light of the divine. Consider your own face for a moment. The eyes, the lines, the expressions that shift over time, these are not just traces of age or experience. They are signs that God is actively recreating you. You are not losing something familiar when your features change. You are gaining a new expression of yourself that is aligned with the ongoing act of creation. Every subtle difference, every new nuance, is a reminder that life is never static, that God's presence is always moving through you, crafting, refining, and revealing new dimensions of your being. This continuous renewal is not limited to the physical. Your thoughts, your feelings, your perceptions, your understanding of the world, all are part of this divine act of creation. When you respond to a situation with patience, when you forgive someone, when you feel gratitude, or even when you recognize your own limitations, these are acts of renewal. Each one reshapes the inner landscape of your soul and reflects outwardly in the subtle movements of your face and body. You are in every moment a living embodiment of creation in motion. And yet most of us resist this process. We fear change. We mourn the loss of the familiar. We cling to what we were because it feels safe, because it is known. Ibn Arabi challenges us to embrace the unknown, to see every change, no matter how small or unsettling, as a sign that the divine is at work. What feels like instability is actually the grace of constant renewal. What feels like loss is actually transformation. What feels like the breaking of who we thought we were is actually the unveiling of who we were, always meant to become. There is immense freedom in understanding this. To live fully in the awareness of constant renewal is to release the need to control every detail of yourself. It is to trust that every change, every shift, every unfamiliar reflection in the mirror is not random. It is purposeful. It is God reshaping His creation through you, for you, and as you. When you grasp this, the fear of change softens. The pain of growth becomes sacred. The mirror, instead of reflecting what is lost, begins to reveal what is newly created, a reflection of divine artistry in motion. This is the beauty of living with Ibn Arabi's vision. Your life is not a rigid path from beginning to end. It is a dynamic, flowing act of creation, and you are both the vessel and the canvas. Every transformation, every renewal, every subtle shift in your appearance or your inner life is a sign that God is intimately present, actively creating, and constantly revealing new possibilities. You are never static. You are never finished. You are continuously reborn, continuously rewritten, continuously renewed, a living testimony to the ceaseless creativity of the divine. So the next time you notice a change in your reflection, a new line in your face, a subtle shift in your expression, or even a change in your energy, remember this truth: you are not losing yourself. You are being renewed. You are part of the eternal flow of creation, and every moment of transformation is a sacred sign that God is at work within you. To see it is to awaken to life itself. To live it is to participate consciously in the ongoing miracle of creation. 3. The veil of form. We live in a world that prizes appearances, that clings to surfaces, that measures reality by what can be seen. And yet, Ibn Arabi, the great mystic, reminds us that the forms of things are veils, not the ultimate truth, but windows that both reveal and conceal the divine. Every face, every body, every object, every event in life carries a layer of meaning that is deeper than what the eye perceives. The outer form is a sign, a symbol, a reflection, but never the entirety of what lies within. Your face, your body, the way you appear to the world is a veil. It is a garment through which the unseen expresses itself. When you look in the mirror, you may see only features, only lines and colors, only the familiar arrangement of flesh and bone. But if you pause and look deeper, you will sense that your form is not static, not merely biological, not merely yours to claim. It is a living sign, a threshold through which the divine communicates, subtly, mysteriously, continuously. Think about moments when your face feels unfamiliar to you. Perhaps after a period of suffering, loss, or joy, you catch yourself in a mirror and see someone you do not fully recognize. At first, this may unsettle you. We resist change. We fear that the surface no longer reflects what we once knew. Yet Ibn Arabi teaches that this unfamiliarity is precisely the veil lifting, revealing a deeper dimension of truth. What you see is not the whole story. It is a sign pointing toward the unseen. Your face, changing as it does, invites you to recognize that identity, like reality itself, is far more fluid and mysterious than it appears. Every wrinkle, every line, every shift in expression is part of this veil. When the lines of worry appear on your forehead, they are not merely marks of age. They are symbols of the divine, navigating through your experiences, reflecting the invisible movements of your soul. When your eyes light up with joy, they are not just reacting to an external stimulus, they are mirrors of the light that flows through creation itself. And when sadness colors your gaze, it is not weakness. It is the quiet presence of the divine, teaching you the language of compassion and empathy. Every expression, every nuance, is a message hidden within the veil of form. Most of us, however, mistake the veil for the truth. We take form as reality. We identify ourselves entirely with our appearances, our social roles, our material possessions, our habits, and in doing so, we forget that the divine is speaking to us in ways that transcend the surface. The veil is meant to guide us, not to trap us. It is meant to awaken curiosity, not to provide certainty. Ibn Arabi invites us to look beyond the form, to sense the presence behind the shape, to recognize the living mystery that underlies all that is visible. This veil of form also teaches humility. It reminds us that what we see in others is only a fraction of what exists. Every person you encounter carries a depth beyond what your eyes can perceive, a presence that cannot be fully contained by appearance. Your neighbor, your friend, the stranger passing by, each one is a living veil of the divine. Each one a reflection and a concealment at the same time. To recognize this is to cultivate reverence, to move through life with awe, knowing that the unseen pervades all that you touch. And so when your face changes, when your body shifts, When life alters your familiar shape, you are invited to see beyond the surface. You are asked to honor the veil rather than cling to it. You are asked to understand that the form is not the essence, but a channel, a bridge between the seen and the unseen. The divine is not in the lines themselves. The divine is in the movement behind them, in the mystery that allows the lines to exist, to change, to speak. To live with this awareness is to enter into a dance with existence itself. Every glance in the mirror, every moment of self-reflection becomes an opportunity to perceive the invisible currents that shape your life. You begin to see your transformations not as losses or surprises, but as openings, invitations to encounter God in subtle and profound ways. You realize that what the world sees is only the surface of a much deeper reality, and that your own self is far more than the face reflected back at you. And so, the veil of form is both a challenge and a blessing. It challenges us to look beyond appearances, to resist superficial judgments, to awaken to the living presence that underlies every change. And it blesses us with glimpses of the infinite, moments when the unseen reveals itself through the most ordinary expressions of life. Every transformation in your face, every nuance in your expression, every subtle change in your being is part of this sacred veil, an invitation to see not merely with the eyes, but with the soul. The next time you encounter a change in yourself, a new line, a subtle shift, or a reflection that seems unfamiliar, pause and consider. This is not just a physical alteration. This is a veil lifting. This is a sign pointing to the hidden reality that animates all things. Look beyond the surface. Sense the presence behind the form. Feel the divine weaving through your being, using the veil as both a disguise and a revelation. In this awareness, every change becomes sacred, every reflection a reminder, and every moment an opportunity to witness the unseen way in which God moves through the world and through you. 4. The signature of the beloved. Every feature of your face, every expression you carry, every subtle movement of your body is not random. It is not merely the product of genetics, habits, or circumstance. Ibn Arabi, the great mystic, taught that each human being is a manifestation of the divine names, each a unique signature of the beloved, reflecting the infinite in finite form. When you change, when your face shifts or your energy alters, it is not a loss or a deviation. It is the hand of the beloved at work, writing new verses upon the canvas of your existence. Consider the eyes, the windows of the soul, as tradition says. How often have you caught your gaze lingering in the mirror, noticing a new depth, a new light, a shadow that wasn't there before? That is not coincidence. That is the beloved, leaving a trace of himself, like a delicate signature written in the language of your being. Every glance you cast, every tear that surfaces, every spark of joy or sorrow is a mark of the divine. Even in moments of confusion, anger, or fear, the beloved's signature remains, sometimes hidden, sometimes glowing softly, waiting for you to recognize it. Ibn Arabi reminds us that God's presence is infinite, yet always reveals itself in particular forms. You are one of these forms. You are a living letter, a sacred script in the vast manuscript of existence. And your face, with all its subtle changes and expressions, is a page upon which the beloved chooses to write. When you notice a line, a shadow, a curve of your lips, or a gleam in your eyes that feels new, it is the beloved continuing the work, shaping the reflection of himself in your being. To understand this is to begin seeing yourself differently. Each change is not something to fear, not something to hide, not something to judge. It is a message, a verse, a whisper of love that says, I am present in you and through you in the world. The beloved's signature is not always obvious, not always grand, but it is persistent. In the quiet of your moments, in the shifts of your emotions, in the subtle transformations of your face, you are being reminded that you are both ordinary and extraordinary, human and divine. Your smile, for instance, carries the signature of the beloved. It is not merely a reaction to happiness. It is a reflection of the joy inherent in creation itself. When you laugh, when your lips curve naturally in the presence of beauty, the beloved's essence flows through you, revealing the sacred in the simple, the divine in the mundane. Likewise, every tear, every moment of grief or vulnerability carries the same signature. Pain is not a void or an absence of God. It is another way the beloved expresses himself, leaving traces of presence in what appears fragile or broken. This perspective transforms the way you view yourself and the world. Change is no longer a threat, an error, or a loss. Every shift in your appearance, every nuance of your expression, every fluctuation of your mood is the beloved's hand writing upon you, leaving signs for you to notice, interpret, and embody. Even what you once resisted, the unexpected changes, the uncomfortable reflections, the moments when your face seems unfamiliar, can be seen as sacred signatures, invitations to awaken to the deeper reality that animates your being. The idea of the divine signature also teaches us patience. The beloved does not reveal all at once. Each subtle transformation, each nuance in your face, is part of an unfolding story that cannot be rushed. Ibn Arabi speaks of time as the medium through which the divine slowly unveils himself, not hurriedly, not in full, but in gestures, signs, and delicate touches. Your life, your face, your expressions are like chapters in this ongoing manuscript. Each change, no matter how small, is significant. Each moment carries meaning, waiting for your awareness to catch it. And this signature is deeply personal. No one else bears the exact imprint of the beloved that you do. Others may reflect aspects of divine beauty or presence, but your combination of experiences, expressions, and subtle shifts is unique. To see this is to awaken to your sacred individuality, not ego, not pride, but recognition of the intimate relationship between you and the divine. Your changing face, your evolving presence, is a testament to this sacred uniqueness, a living poem in which God continues to inscribe himself. So the next time you notice a new line, a subtle change in your eyes, or an expression that feels unfamiliar, pause and consider. This is not random. This is the signature of the beloved, the divine handwriting upon the canvas of your life. Every transformation is a verse, every subtle shift a word, every glance a line of sacred poetry. When you begin to see it this way, life itself becomes a living scripture, and your own reflection becomes a holy text, revealing the intimate, ongoing presence of God through every detail of your being. To live in this awareness is to walk in wonder, reverence, and gratitude. It is to recognize that nothing in your life, nothing in your face, and nothing in your being is accidental. Every change is a signature. Every shift is an expression. Every moment is the beloved writing his presence into your reality, leaving a trail of divine ink upon the living mirror of your existence. 5. The Dance of Names. Ibn Arabi teaches that the divine is infinite and manifests in countless ways, each aspect reflecting a unique quality of God. He calls these the names of God, the merciful, the powerful, the compassionate, the majestic, and countless others. These names are not abstract concepts. They are living realities, flowing through creation, moving through the world, and even moving through you. Every face, every emotion, every subtle shift in your being carries traces of these names, dancing in patterns that only the heart can perceive. Think about the moments when your expression changes without warning. A sudden softness in your gaze, a smile that appears unexpectedly, or even a flicker of sadness that seems deeper than reason. These are not random. They are echoes of the divine names, reflecting through you in the moment. Perhaps today the name of mercy shines through you, guiding your words or gestures toward kindness. Tomorrow the name of patience may weave itself into the way you listen, or the name of majesty may show in your posture, in the dignity with which you hold yourself despite the storms of life. Your changing face, your shifting expressions, are the visible signs of these names in motion. Ibn Arabi says that God manifests in ways both subtle and grand, so that creation becomes a mirror for every facet of the infinite. You are not merely a passive reflection, you are an active channel through which these names dance, a living instrument playing the divine symphony. Every change in your appearance, every nuance in your expression, is a rhythm in this sacred dance, a verse in the poetry of the unseen. Notice how your emotions sometimes surprise you. A wave of joy rises unbidden. Tears of grief fall silently. Anger or frustration flares and then subsides. These are not mere reactions to circumstance. They are the names moving through you. The name of mercy may inspire compassion when no one else would offer it. The name of power may push you toward action when fear holds others back. The name of beauty may ripple through your gaze, touching someone's heart without words. Every subtle shift, every transformation of the face and heart is a manifestation of this divine choreography. To live with awareness of this dance is to embrace change without fear. When your reflection shifts in the mirror, when your eyes carry a depth you have not seen before, when your features soften or harden according to life's currents, you are witnessing the names of God moving through you. You are a vessel, yes, but you are also the stage, the dancer, and the music itself. The world, in its mundane routines and fleeting encounters, is being touched by these movements, and you are the medium through which they flow. And yet we often resist these changes. We cling to what feels stable, to what we think defines us. We resist the unfamiliar shifts in our emotions or appearances, longing for yesterday's reflection or the comfort of permanence. Ibn Arabi teaches us that resistance blinds us to the dance of the names. When we accept that our face, our expressions, and our being are constantly shifting vessels of divine attributes, we step into harmony with creation itself. Change becomes not something to fear, but a sacred rhythm we are invited to follow. Even moments of hardship, frustration, or sorrow are part of this dance. The name of patience, the name of justice, or the name of wisdom may move through you in ways that feel heavy or difficult. But just as a dancer moves fluidly through tension and release, these names use your life, your experiences, and your changing reflection to reveal the infinite in ways that words alone cannot capture. Pain and joy, beauty and imperfection are all part of the choreography, all part of the sacred expression of the unseen. To see this in yourself is to awaken to a profound awareness. Every line, every subtle shadow in your face, every change in expression is alive with meaning. You are not simply undergoing random shifts. You are participating in a cosmic dance, a sacred unfolding of divine qualities. You are a mirror, but you are also a dancer, a vessel and a witness. You are the stage upon which the names move, the rhythm through which the infinite expresses itself, and the living proof that God never ceases to manifest, never ceases to create. So the next time you notice a subtle change in your reflection, a new line, a softened gaze, a brightness in your eyes, or a heaviness in your expression, remember this: it is not random, it is not meaningless. It is the names of God moving through you, dancing across your face, leaving traces of the infinite in the finite. Every moment, every shift, every subtle transformation is a verse, a note, a step in the sacred choreography of creation. And you, with your changing reflection and living presence, are at the center of this divine dance. To live in this awareness is to awaken to life itself. Every glance in the mirror becomes a reminder, every change a sacred message, and every moment an invitation to participate consciously in the unfolding of the unseen. The divine is never still, and neither are you. You are the dance. You are the names. You are the mirror in which the infinite becomes visible, even for a fleeting instant. 6. The face that returns to the One. Every change you notice in yourself, every shift in your face, every subtle movement in your expression, every new depth in your eyes, carries a hidden invitation. Ibn Arabi teaches that all forms, all faces, all beings are drawn toward the One, the divine source from which everything emerges. And your face, constantly changing as it does, is part of this journey. Each transformation, whether subtle or profound, is a step in returning, a reflection of the soul gravitating toward its origin. Consider the way your features transform over time. Perhaps your eyes carry more wisdom than before, or a line of experience etches itself across your face. Perhaps your smile has softened or deepened, reflecting experiences you cannot yet fully articulate. These changes are not arbitrary. They are the call of the One moving through your being. They are the gentle, persistent tug of the divine, guiding you back to a truth that lies beyond the mirror and beyond the self, that the face you see is a vessel, and the vessel is pointing toward the source. Ibn Arabi speaks of the human as a reflection of God, a mirror that is never fixed, never final. The changing face is an expression of this dynamic relationship. You are not separate from the divine, you are an image of it, constantly being polished, refined, and renewed. Each line, each contour, each expression carries the energy of this ongoing refinement, subtly drawing you closer to the recognition that the only true face is the One's. Your individuality is not negated by this awareness. Rather, it becomes a unique expression of the infinite, a particular way the One reveals itself through the world. Think of your own reflection for a moment. You may notice shifts that feel unfamiliar. A new weight in your eyes, a new softness in your lips, a trace of resilience or sorrow that was not there before. These are the hands of the divine, shaping, molding, revealing the face that is meant to return. Each change is a step in a sacred pilgrimage, leading you toward the recognition of the ultimate face, the face that has never left you, and to which all faces ultimately return. The mirror becomes not a source of identity, but a guide to essence. This process is not always gentle. Sometimes the changes are accompanied by discomfort, by grief, by uncertainty, and yet even these moments are sacred. Ibn Arabi reminds us that the journey toward the One is not separate from life's experiences. Every challenge, every loss, every unfamiliar reflection is a part of the path. Pain, confusion, and transformation are all instruments of the divine, carefully orchestrating the soul's return. To resist these moments is to resist the flow. To accept them is to recognize the divine signature in all that passes through you. The face that returns to the One is not only a metaphor for spiritual reunion, it is lived experience. Each expression you carry, each subtle change in your features, is a bridge between the human and the divine. The lines on your face, the depths of your eyes, the tremor of a smile, all are traces of the journey back. And while you may feel alone in this transformation, you are never separate. The One moves through you, shaping you, guiding you, and inviting you to witness your own reflection as a part of the infinite presence that flows through all creation. There is a profound freedom in this understanding. To see your changing face as a reflection of the divine journey allows you to release attachment to permanence. You no longer need to cling to a static image of who you think you are. You can embrace every transformation as sacred, every shift as an opportunity to recognize the One in new ways. Your reflection is no longer merely yours. It is a mirror of the eternal, a trace of God moving through you, and a reminder that all faces, all forms, all creations ultimately return to the source. And in this return, there is profound beauty. The One's presence is not distant or separate from the changes you witness in yourself. It is intimate, immediate, flowing through every subtle detail, coloring every line, and illuminating every depth. Every transformation becomes an invitation to see beyond the surface, to recognize the sacred dance that animates your being, and to remember that even as your face shifts, the eternal face that sustains all faces is always present. So when you look in the mirror and notice unfamiliar features, or when you feel the subtle weight of change within your being, pause and reflect. These are not merely signs of time, circumstance, or emotion. They are the face returning, calling you back to the One. Every change, every nuance, every moment of transformation is a step in a sacred journey, a journey in which your being, your reflection, and your very existence are continually being drawn toward the eternal, unchanging source. To live in this awareness is to awaken to life itself. Every glance, every expression, every change becomes a sacred sign, a reminder that the divine is always near, always shaping, always guiding. The face that shifts, the mirror that reflects, and the heart that witnesses, all are part of the sacred return to the One. And in this return, you discover that every transformation, every change, every moment of unfamiliarity is a blessing, a revelation, and a step closer to the eternal truth that animates your life and all of creation. 7. The unseen way. There is a path that cannot be mapped, a journey that cannot be measured, a reality that cannot be grasped with the eyes alone. Ibn Arabi calls this the unseen way, the subtle hidden movement of the divine that flows through all things, shaping lives, shaping faces, shaping the very essence of existence. To walk this way is to trust that what you cannot see is as real, as present, and as powerful as what is visible. It is to recognize that every shift in your reflection, every change in your expression, every nuance of your being is part of a sacred current that carries you toward deeper truth. Most of us live as though only the visible matters. We cling to appearances, to certainty, to what can be measured or defined. We judge our reflection, our experiences, even our very selves, against what we believe is fixed or normal. But the unseen way calls us beyond these illusions. It whispers that what is hidden is not absence, but presence, that the unknown is not danger, but guidance, and that the changes we fear are not loss, but invitation. Your face, your expressions, your shifting energy, all of these are part of the unseen way. When God changes your look, it is not a whim or an accident. It is a subtle sign, a quiet gesture from the divine, a message that the unseen currents are moving and that you are part of their flow. Perhaps your eyes have grown deeper, your smile softer, your face more reflective. Perhaps there is a heaviness or a lightness you cannot explain. These are not meaningless. They are the language of the unseen speaking through your form, inviting you to notice, to awaken, to align. Walking the unseen way requires trust. It asks you to release the illusion of control, to surrender to the invisible currents that shape your life. Every subtle change, every unexpected transformation is part of this sacred guidance. Your face may shift in ways you do not expect. Your expressions may carry emotions you cannot fully name. Your being may feel unfamiliar, Yet all of this is part of the unseen way shaping you toward what is true. To resist is to stumble, to notice, to embrace is to move gracefully along the path. Ibn Arabi teaches that the unseen way is intimate and personal. It is not the same for anyone else. Your experiences, your transformations, your reflections, all are unique steps along this hidden path. The divine moves through you in ways that no one else can replicate, using your life, your face, and your being to reveal aspects of reality that are both deeply personal and universally sacred. Every shift in your reflection is a signpost, every unfamiliar glance a guidepost, pointing you toward awareness, presence, and the recognition of the infinite. The beauty of the unseen way is that it transcends judgment. You are not meant to understand every detail, to control every nuance, or to make sense of every change. Your role is to witness, to feel, to participate consciously in the unfolding of the divine currents through your life. Every subtle line, every shift in expression, every transformation of your face is a verse in the ongoing poem of creation, and you are both reader and writer, mirror and messenger. Even when life feels chaotic or disorienting, even when the changes in your reflection seem unsettling or unfamiliar, the unseen way is at work. What appears as randomness or misfortune may be the careful guidance of the divine, moving you toward alignment with a higher truth. Ibn Arabi reminds us that the unseen is never absent. It is constant, flowing through the smallest changes in your being and the largest currents of existence alike. Your face, your presence, your being are instruments in this sacred symphony, tuned to the subtle melodies of the invisible. To walk the unseen way is also to embrace humility. You recognize that you are not the origin of your changes, your growth, or your shifts in expression. You are a participant, a witness, a vessel. The divine orchestrates the flow, and you move with it, learning to notice, to honor, and to reflect the hidden light in every transformation. Every subtle change in your reflection becomes a reminder that you are part of something greater than yourself, a fragment of an infinite, living reality that is constantly creating, reshaping, and revealing itself. And so, the next time you look in the mirror and see yourself unfamiliar, or when life presents transformations you did not anticipate, pause and breathe. Trust that this is the unseen way at work. Feel the subtle currents moving through your being. Notice that every shift, every nuance, every line is not random but sacred. Your changing reflection is a sign, a guide, a whisper from the divine, inviting you to awaken to the reality beyond the visible. To live fully in the unseen way is to see every transformation as meaningful, every change as divine, and every moment as a step closer to awareness. Your face is not merely a reflection of time or circumstance. It is a living mirror of the invisible currents, a canvas on which the unseen continues to paint. Every glance, every subtle shift, every transformation is a reminder. You are part of the hidden movement of God, and the divine continues to reveal himself through you, moment by moment, change by change, forever and unseen. As we reach the end of this journey, take a moment to breathe and let the lessons settle. What you have witnessed is not mere philosophy or abstract teaching. It is the living reality of your existence, the sacred truth that every change, every shift, every line and expression on your face is part of a divine conversation. God is not distant, removed, or silent. He is present in every subtle movement of your being, in every reflection that seems unfamiliar, in every transformation that feels surprising. Your face, your life, your very being is a mirror of the divine, constantly rewritten, continuously renewed, and intimately guided by the one who never ceases to create. The mirror of God teaches you that every glance, every expression, every transformation carries meaning. The renewal of creation shows you that you are never finished, never static, always becoming. The veil of form reminds you that appearances conceal and reveal, guiding your eyes beyond the surface. The signature of the Beloved shows that every feature, every subtle nuance, is a mark of divine presence. The dance of names reveals that you are a living instrument, carrying the infinite qualities of God in motion. The face that returns to the One calls you to recognize that every transformation draws you closer to your origin, and the unseen way invites you to trust that what you cannot see is as powerful, as intimate, and as real as what you can. To truly live with this awareness is to step into wonder. Every reflection in the mirror becomes a sacred message. Every change in your life becomes a verse in the ongoing poem of creation. Every subtle shift in your face, your heart, your being, is a call to awaken, to notice, to participate consciously in the living presence of the divine. So the next time you look in the mirror and see a face that is unfamiliar, do not recoil, do not resist. Smile gently, even if it feels strange, for this is God writing Himself anew through you. Every line, every shadow, every shimmer of your expression is a trace of the infinite, a whisper of the unseen, a gift of the sacred. You are not merely changing, you are being revealed. You are not merely reflecting, you are participating. You are not merely alive, you are alive in the presence of the eternal, in the dance of the unseen, in the mirror of the divine. Remember, your face is not just flesh. It is poetry, it is music, it is the living, breathing, evolving signature of God. And as long as you continue to breathe, to feel, to change, you remain part of this sacred unfolding, this eternal creation, this unseen way. Look closely, live fully, and trust deeply, for God is rewriting your face, and through it, revealing the infinite, the eternal, and the unseen, in ways you may only begin to understand.